Hey, I pulled up and I was like, that's like a young Harrison Ford right there. He looked good. Well, I mean middle-aged Harrison Ford, but.
Great compliment. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Talk or go home. Mark, David, Nick. Clint is not here, but that does not mean he got fired or left. He's just busy. So one of these days we'll have an episode where all four of us are back together.
He's at the Globetrotters.
He's at the Globetrotters event. You know, it's cold outside. Did y'all know that?
Well, when you drive up here and you see a lot of different ponds that are frozen over,
Yeah.
it's cold.
Frozen ponds.
Yeah, you don't see that much in Alabama.
Especially if the river's frozen. I drove by this morning and parts of it were frozen.
Yeah. You know, if you see frozen ponds in Alabama, it's cold now.
It's I had security today at church, and so obviously you got to make rounds around the church. Man, that wind cut right through me, and I had on layers.
I think your ears are still a little red from it.
Layers, they probably are. Are they actually? Are they red?
It wasn't that long ago.
No.
Probably stood up there and talked another 30, 45 minutes after church.
Oh,
Maybe.
Stephen Nuss and I hung out. We talked. Yeah, at the front.
Yeah.
Because we got the
Good old
rotation.
Nuss.
Stephen Lee Nuss,
Yes.
Oh, Nussy.
famous bass player. Stephen Lee Nuss.
My former PE teacher.
And he's a famous harmonica player. I don't know if you knew that.
No, bull crap.
Steve Nuss? Steve N?
That you went to school with.
Absolutely.
Bull crap. He plays the harmonica?
Me and him, when we tag team it, it's like a sound from heaven. Just fell right down.
I've got to ask him about that. Hey, how are you related to Heath Sanders?
I can never tell you. I mean,
Is he a cousin?
Yeah, it's a cousin.
Okay.
Like we have, you know how the tree trickles down. You know,
Yeah.
it just
Hey,
branches off.
at least it doesn't go
There's
straight
a lot
up.
of different cousins, and you know, if you're Sanders in these parts, you're part of the family.
So Maddie,
We
his
have a lot of
daughter,
family.
is your cousin as well somehow.
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw your mom and dad at the game last night.
Yeah, that mom did say she went. That's right. She told me this.
I saw your mom and dad, but I didn't know why they were there. And then, Maddie's playing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think they just came to. They were on. She told me they were on their way home from somewhere, and they were like, well, they knew everybody was playing, so they came and stopped in.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's 3-3. Sorry, guys. We've got the Tampa Bay-Detroit game on. If that tells you what day we're recording this.
Yeah.
Instead of the monitor being on us, we've got it on
The divisional playoff
the
game.
divisional playoff game.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you've been gone a while, man. Tell us about what you've been up to.
Oh, well, I mean, just, you know, being a dad and a husband and a teacher and a coach. So just
Living life.
Just living that life. You know how it gets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you blink and 3 weeks went by and you don't really realize that 3 weeks
It
just
kind of
went by.
feels like that sometimes.
Yeah. But I want your honest opinion. You know, you compared him to Harrison Ford a second ago on David's appearance. Did he tell you why?
He kind of when I just look at him from this angle, and I just think back to the world's most interesting man commercials.
Dos Equis
The Dos
or
Equis,
whatever.
yeah. I'm just getting a glimpse of it right now.
Yeah.
Like if you put a suit and just a good looking dress up on him with a scarf or something, you know, something fancy. Tell me he wouldn't just match that guy. Look beautiful.
I mean, he looks beautiful right now.
Maybe get him a little spray tan to match the darkness.
Yeah.
He'd be a sophisticated gent.
You mentioned middle-aged Harrison Ford.
That
y'all
was the
know,
comparison,
I
yes.
sent you that message that Phil Knight's, he's almost 87 years old. I found that hard to believe.
Yeah, so I get a random text
87.
one Saturday morning, yesterday morning.
Yeah.
He just says, Phil Knight is 87 years old. That's the text message.
It's almost 87, like a week away from being 87.
That's insane.
He's old, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Time's flying.
How old are you?
53, just turned 53.
Is that why you're
Yeah, I'm just letting it
on this
go.
guy?
I just can't. I'm gonna letting it go.
I love it, man.
I do too. I think you should keep it.
Yeah.
You kind of were looking like James Spann a little bit there for a while.
Yeah, he's embracing the not the musk. That's not the wrong word. He looks like he's aged like fine wine with a beard in the hair.
If we were going on some kind of like
It looks good.
nature hike,
Yeah.
you know, and this man showed up wearing some kind of like outdoorsy suit, you know, with a different little satchel of goods, I would trust him with my life to keep us alive out in the woods.
Absolutely.
Just from this look.
Yeah.
I could do
All
it.
he needs is clothes, you know, with a look the part.
So for everybody watching, show the camera your shirt.
Yeah.
Which I think we've posted on our social media before.
Oh, have we? I don't know.
I think we have. What does it say?
I don't know. I
Read
saw a guy in Pale City that had one on over at Starbucks or whatever that coffee place is over there. So I got me one.
Man, I'm really wanting the Lions to take this thing.
National Sarcasm Society. Like we need your support.
I get a kick out of that. I would need your support. National Sarcasm. That's funny. It
is
funny.
That is.
funny.
National
Yeah.
Sarcasm Society. I
is
would
good.
need your support.
I love it.
I had a kick out of that.
Oh my gosh.
Title of the episode: National Sarcasm Society. By the way, I want to revisit that episode that we recorded previously, Night Vision Nightmares.
Okay.
So I learned over the Christmas break while we were not recording that I don't know how true this is. I heard this on another podcast, so I don't know. I haven't actually cited this information or sourced this information. This could be fake, but you talked about that. Did you listen to the episode?
Yeah, I listened to it. Uh-huh.
What did you think about his story with
Well,
the night vision
I'm trying to
goggles?
figure out what in the world could it have been. Could it have been? I've seen deer stand up on their back legs, like when they're nibbling on
and fist
limbs
fight?
and stuff. I've seen them stand up and fight and all that
Not a
kind of
deer.
stuff. Could it have been that? And
Not
it
a
just
deer.
took off, flying off.
Ain't no way. Nope.
So okay,
It was a good story. I really enjoyed
It
listening
was-
to it.
I did too. I might have
Yeah.
enjoyed it better the second time around listening to it in the car than I did when I was here because I don't think I got
was
to
crazy.
fully digest it while
Listen,
I was here.
man. And I didn't know if we'd ever revisit it or not, but it was crazy. It was really crazy. And I remembered like some kind of old search I did. Like I was trying to find like because after it happened, I did like this extensive search on what it could be. Like have other people seen something like this? And I was looking at all these different images of all these different things. And then I came upon one and I found it the other day. Mm-hmm. It's called a Sigbin.
How do you spell that?
Sigbin. Sigbin.
Sigbin.
Yeah.
And what is a Sigbin?
That's just what it looked like. When I was scouring images and I came across one and I saw the image, I was like, man, that kind of looks like it. And then, and it said underneath it like Sigbin. So I searched Sigbin and all these images popped up,
Oh, okay. That's a Sigbin. A region in the Philippines is a creature in Philippine mythology said to come out at night to suck
But
the
not
blood
the-
of victims from their shadows.
Not the one with the werewolf look. Really kind of that first one right there. That was, if you had that Joker standing up on its,
The cat
on
like.
its leg,
Yeah.
if you had that standing up on its legs, that would be pretty close because it was menacing.
So it is said to walk backwards with its head lowered between its
like
hind,
this, no
its hind
teeth.
legs.
No teeth. I didn't see teeth.
Between its
Maybe I
hind
just didn't
legs and to
notice
have
it.
the ability to become invisible to other creatures, especially humans. It resembles a hornless goat but has very large ears.
That standing up with bigger eyes.
Dude, you did see a Sigbin. The
I'm
Sigbin
telling
is
you.
said to emit a nauseating odor. Did you smell anything?
I probably just matched the one I had. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's hey, but see, could somebody around here have one of those? It's a real animal.
No. No,
No.
this is a
I mean,
mythological
oh,
creature.
Oh,
we
it's
should've
a
showed you.
mythological.
Yeah.
We should have
Okay.
shown you.
Suck the blood from children or whatever. According to legend, there are families known as Sigbinen,
Look, it's
whose
crazy
members
stuff
possess
like
the power
that.
to command
Oh,
these
okay.
creatures.
Well,
No, but
I thought you were talking about it was a real
If
animal.
that was standing up on its legs, looking at me,
So could it have been a kangaroo?
I mean,
Okay, it's funny you
somebody
say
right here
that.
could have
It's
had a
funny you say
kangaroo.
that because based on the description of the Sigbin in popular literature, the animal species might be related to the kangaroo. It's funny you say that.
Could somebody
Hey,
have
well,
had
let me tell
one
you
and it got
this.
loose or something? You think?
possibly. But no, because like this thing's eyes are a lot bigger, man. If you saw a kangaroo, you'd know it.
Yeah,
right?
it's a kangaroo.
We're pretty. We've
I don't
never.
know.
I've
I
never.
don't know. I've never seen one.
I've only seen one at a zoo, but
I don't know if I've ever seen one. So.
like we've been shown images of them from the time we were little, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know
It's
what they are.
marsupial.
But like if you saw one, you'd be like, hey, there's a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Well, this was not a kangaroo. Didn't
That
even cross
row
my
outta
mind.
here.
Didn't even cross my mind. Way too slender, way too tall, standing
Australia.
up, lanky, just staring at me.
Yeah.
Oddly shaped head.
That's crazy,
Those
man.
freaking ears that went up and just big old menacing eyes. And I'm just standing there, just letting it loose, you know?
Peeing.
Peeing.
You're peeing.
Yeah.
Free Willy.
No, it was crazy. It was. And then,
So-
man, it was, but it wasn't as tall as I was.
Yeah.
It was about right here.
So I think. So the story that I heard on this other podcast, it was actually on the Joe Rogan Experience, and this guy talking about the first version of night vision used by the military, the red.
Let's go. I was going to talk about this.
Do you know what I'm
Yes.
about to say? They used red instead of. Sorry, Shay, I just had to hang up on you, brother. They used
Coach.
They used red instead of because now it's green, right? I think
Yeah,
they used,
yeah.
but the chemical that
Right.
the chemical butthole. I almost said a word. The chemical that they
I can't remember the
used-
name of it.
I can't either.
But it was very interesting sounding.
But they issued the first version of these night vision goggles to these aircraft pilots and these Air Force pilots and these special forces, and they would go on these missions, but
Right.
they would,
Yeah.
like these radio operators in these control towers, especially for these Air Force pilots, would report communications from these pilots wearing these night vision goggles, talking about they would see things.
Yes.
And then special forces soldiers would see things. And
Yes.
it got so bad to the point that there were some soldiers that went crazy
Yeah.
or experienced some sort of mental breakdown caused by what they were seeing when they were using these night vision goggles.
It's crazy because like we're told in the Bible that is what we're against, the powers that are in the different realms, right?
Yeah.
And people have always tried to access the different realms, you know, whether it be psychics
Yeah.
or like ghost hunters, people like
Hallucinogens,
that that
yeah.
find different wavelengths or different things to try to channel some kind of communication with people that are on the other side. But
Exactly.
it's crazy that they found that, and you know that they covered it up. Probably, and nobody's really ever heard of it, you know?
Let's see. Here we
Can
go.
you imagine like how crazy you would go if you were out doing some kind of military mission and you look over and there is some kind of beast or something that has like wings and claws and it's flying around you or something, you know? Like, could you imagine how crazy that would make you go?
So it says here that, let's see,
What do you think?
it began
Dave?
in Vietnam. Yeah, what do you think about it?
I don't know what to think.
Or, you know, did you think it's tied
Don't
to
think
Agent
a whole
Orange
lot.
if it was in Vietnam? Could
Well, see,
that-
that's what some people do say. Some people do say that there's a time, but why would they
Or-
switch to green?
Dude, think about this. Think about this. The ultimate, this would be a controversial topic. But what if the government or whatever, whoever used the Agent Orange, what if they did it as a cover up because of all this, because they didn't want it to become some kind of
Now you're talking about some quad one level conspiracy.
conspiracy all the way?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's interesting to think about.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
And we might never know.
I don't know. It's freaky to think about. But you had on night vision goggles.
I did.
So I was wondering if you were.
I thought that
but
myself.
the reason that it was so surprised that you were seeing it was because you were seeing it.
Yes.
It was used to. It wasn't worried about
wasn't-
your proximity to
right.
it because it assumed
because they're
you didn't see
normally
it.
they're normally that distance.
Yes.
Yes.
And it assumed you weren't going to see it, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Well, then when you made eye contact with it, then it was like, oh, can it see me?
Yeah.
Talking about you.
Right, right.
So then that's what
This
initiated.
hey, and let me tell you something. That's exactly what it felt like.
Really?
Absolutely. And I've
Like,
said
like
it since.
expected you not to see it, and
Yes.
then you saw it, and then, wait a
Abso-
minute, he shouldn't see me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the because you know like as many people as we deal with in our lifetime, how much do you read body language more than really what people are saying sometimes? It's body language, right?
All day.
Body language is huge in sports
Yep.
and coaching and all this
Teaching,
stuff.
yeah.
So why wouldn't something else we wouldn't be able to read the same kind of emotion? You know, God gave us all that type of thing, whether if this thing was demonic, whether it was some kind of supernatural being that I wasn't supposed to come in contact with, something I think, I mean, the way it looked, there was no way that was on the good side of things, you know?
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, ever since then, I was like, there's only one way. That was the explanation was night vision had something to do with it. And I always felt like it didn't want me to see it, like I wasn't supposed to.
Have you?
And you said something about the kangaroo. That's when that joker took off.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a kangaroo. There was no like, you know, because kangaroos hop with both
Yeah.
legs, right?
Yeah.
This thing was gone.
Like a run, though.
like a bound.
Like a bound.
A bound, and it didn't take long, and it was out of my vision. I couldn't see it. It was gone. You talking about fast? Woo! If I had him on my track team, would take state this year. 100%.
So have you?
So if you're out there listening, come on back. We'll finish that chat we had.
Have y'all seen the real?
It's like, what in the world?
Have y'all seen the paintings from like Renaissance artists of what their interpretation of angels look like based on their descriptions in the Bible?
Yes.
And how
Absolutely.
insane they look. Have you
It's
seen
awesome.
those paintings?
No, but I mean, evidently they're scary looking.
Oh yeah. Can you pull them up?
Here's
Man,
one.
they're
It looks like an owl. To me, this one looks like.
'Cause it always
this
says,
is an-
"Do not fear." Every time an angel showed up in the Bible, so yeah, it's probably pretty.
It's an angel, an owl
scary
with
looking.
12 wings and 13 eyes or something like that.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
Uh,
Hey, but just think about it. It's gonna have to be like way
yeah.
more beautiful, or it doesn't have.
Like,
Well, the battle angels. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
want them to be beautiful, and I mean they probably are, but
in their own scary kind of a way,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. But God's got many different wild
Well, see,
designs.
there's seraphim, cherubim,
Mm-hmm.
the thrones, the dominions, the powers, the virtues, the archangels, the principalities.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know there was like a hierarchy. But the seraphim are supposedly the ones with the weird looking eyes.
How many does it mention by name in the Bible? Not many.
Not
How
many.
Was it
Yeah.
3 or 4?
I don't know this.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But that didn't mean to go like off the rails there. But that's just something I've always thought was interesting was, because I think in popular culture, angels have this very specific.
No, wait a minute. You said seraphim. What on that? That's
seraphim.
Cherubim.
are those? Is that
Cherubim.
That's not. Is that angels? That's not angels though, right? No, that's not angels.
I don't know.
Are you saying that's angels?
it's a type of an angel?
I thought there were different types.
I thought there were different types
Yeah.
too.
Okay, I haven't studied it in depth.
Because God has
evidently.
different ones that do different.
Yeah,
Have
they have different
different
assignments,
purposes,
different
yeah.
roles. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see, different angels. This is where. Let's see, but none of these.
I think God
sources
did that
are
for
accurate.
a reason. Like he wanted there to be so much diversity within the angel ranks that I mean, because think about it. If all the angels look the same, don't you think God, like, in all His power and majesty, which we can't comprehend, would have been like, man, I'm so tired of seeing all the same angel. They all
Yeah.
look the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to make these things look wild. Everybody's going to know what these things are going to do. This is their job.
Okay, so apparently, Catholicism has a angelic hierarchy that was put forth in the 5th or 6th century in the book De Coelesti Hierarchia on the celestial hierarchy. Dionysius described 9 levels of spiritual beings, which he grouped into 3 orders: the seraphim, the cherubim, the thrones, the dominions, the virtues, the powers, the principalities, the archangels, and the angels. The angels being the lowest and the seraphim being the highest. The seraphim, or the burning one, is a celestial or heavenly being originating in ancient Judaism. The term plays a role in subsequent Judeo-Christian and Muslim traditions. So, the book of Isaiah, they mention the seraphim as a 6-winged being that flies around the throne of God crying, "Holy, holy, holy." So apparently there's biblical references to these different types of angels. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about. Oh, Detroit scored.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but
10 to
you're in the
3.
middle of that description right
Sorry,
there.
yeah.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Second quarter. Yeah, so you want the lines to...
I do.
I
I want to see it.
let's take it, yeah.
I want to see it because I like that man right there.
I love Dan Campbell, man.
Man, he's something else.
Gosh.
I like that guy.
I would run through a brick wall for him.
Absolutely. Great coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you rooting for now? The Cowboys
Don't
are
even
out?
care.
You don't care? I want the Lions to win it all.
I just don't know where the Packers and the Buccaneers came from.
Yeah.
They got hot at the
teams-
right
I've been
time.
hearing
they
about
come
Detroit
together
all
late.
year long, and of course I knew the 49ers was good and Baltimore pretty good. I think Baltimore Ravens win. I
They
think.
probably will.
They probably will, yeah.
I
won't.
don't
I
know.
won't.
Yeah, if I had to pick somebody,
I wouldn't
the
mind
Packers
seeing-
should
I
have
wouldn't mind
beat.
seeing these
If it hadn't been
jokers
for the
right here do
Auburn
something.
kicker, they would have probably beat 49ers last night, wouldn't
I don't think it was the kicker. Did you see the hold?
Well, I mean, it would have tied the game.
Yeah, it would have tied.
they?
But
No, they would
Well,
have
I
had
mean,
a 7-point lead.
He would have been but when they when they scored later on, they wouldn't have went ahead by 3. It would have been a tie ball game, if he would have made that.
They had an opportunity to
Barely
win the game
missed
at
it.
least. Yeah. But the hold was the ball. The ball was like this on the ground.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good. It wasn't a good set hold.
Everybody's got to do your part. Do your 111.
Yep.
Got to do it.
But it'll be interesting to see. The only reason I hope the Lions win is because they've had such a drought, man. I mean, they haven't even played for a championship since the 50s. They've never been in the Super Bowl. I mean, their last NFL championship came in the 50s, I think.
Yeah, that's wild.
57. So, for
They're
that
due,
reason,
man.
I hope they go.
They're due.
Oh, man. But I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, man, what an effort.
Yeah.
3rd and 15. What an effort. He was short, though.
Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know. My Eagles got out. They just couldn't. Yeah. I found out why offensively they started tanking there towards the end.
What's that?
Apparently, there was some issues between Jalen and the offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. And so, Brian Johnson would make a play call, and Jalen would call an audible.
Is this a new offensive coordinator from
Yes.
last year?
Yeah, this guy's new. I think both coordinators are new. So we'll see. I don't
my
know.
time
That's
coordinating-
rumored. We'll just see.
From my time coordinating, like I had an idea and a visual of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I always told my quarterbacks, I was like, if you feel something,
Yeah.
like there's going to come a point in our relationship as we're building this and training and doing all this stuff that there's going to be a point where I'm going to trust you and I'm going to know that you're going to know what to do in this situation. And all these other different routes we can take. If you ever feel the need to just call something, just look at me and say, I got it. That's it. And I'll be like, take it. Because I always wanted to build up that trust with them when they finally got to that point and they knew something was about to work. I wanted them to make that call and be a leader, So, yeah, I love that.
Well,
I don't know.
as much as you think we're not on the field with them.
Yeah.
We might be right next to it. We might still see everything they see.
And that's one thing a coordinator's got to keep in mind, is like these dudes, like if you coach them well enough and they respect you enough and love you enough, they're going to want to fight hard. And if they love each other, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can build that first, once they finally get that little aspect of it, they're going to dive right into whatever you're preaching, and eventually they're going to feel it, and this will become a part of what they do out there. And then eventually, like, there's going to be some leader that steps up and says, hey, I got this, coach. Let me make this call. And that's what you want.
It starts
As
with a good
coaches, you
culture.
want leaders on that
Yeah,
field,
man.
man. It does. It's so big.
Well, you always hear those stories
Yeah,
from players.
always.
I mean, even if the coach didn't tell them they could do it, they just did it anyway. Like
Yeah.
at the goal line, they don't run what they call. No, you just follow me.
Yeah.
We had a punter one time playing Aniana, and we didn't call fake punt. He just did it and scored. He didn't. He just took off running with the ball.
To go up or to what? Like, what was the score of the game?
No, it was at the beginning of the game. We didn't call fake punt. He just.
It's a beautiful thing.
But like, if it don't work, I mean, of course you're gonna chew him out. But he scored.
Yeah.
I guess he just saw everybody.
Yeah.
So he
Everybody
just
took
turned.
off.
So
They
he
was
just started
playing, man.
running.
Took off with them.
Scored.
Who was it?
Thomas Ward.
Oh, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, man.
We beat them that night, and they were just. They were stunned.
Yeah.
At Aniana.
I witnessed that 2 nights ago, and it was wonderful. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when you beat somebody that team didn't expect you to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was extra special given who it was that we beat. But
Oh, yeah. Well, you beat Aniana.
Yeah.
I had Aniana.
They've always got good athletes.
Beat them by a couple of touchdowns.
this was Etowah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, them too.
yeah, and they
Is there a certain player they had that was out there? Yeah. Okay.
and he really couldn't believe. You could just tell by his body
yeah.
language that he couldn't believe.
Oh,
that
you
we
got to
beat
love
him.
that, though. You
You
got to
know?
love it.
Like we were not okay. So I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. So the visiting team locker room's is the room right next to this.
Okay.
So I come in here and I always change right after the game. I get out of those daggum coaching clothes and get into something more comfortable. Usually I throw on sweatpants or whatever and a hoodie.
Yeah, y'all get so dressed up
Yeah.
for the games. It's one thing I've noticed when I come to the game. Go ahead.
I'm
You got to take your coat and tie off.
Yeah. Look like Tom Landry.
Got
out
Rick
there.
Pitino.
Why don't y'all do it up one game, man? Like really come in and look swagged out.
We
Yeah,
do
swag it
everything.
out.
He's not joking. We actually do.
Y'all dress up.
Yeah, like we're all matching, all wearing the same
What
shoes.
are we talking like sweatpants and stuff?
We're talking khakis, pullover, shoes.
Okay. All right.
Everybody's matching.
But
Okay.
the NCAA coaches
haven't
have
seen
gone
it
to
yet.
like sweatsuits.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Go ahead. You come in here. And
Yeah. Anyway,
So you
so
eavesdropped, I guess.
Well, yeah, I get to hear every post-game speech by the opposing coach after the game, and
I don't know if you should be saying this on this podcast.
I know I probably shouldn't, but
Okay.
maybe the opposing team should lobby our Board of Education to build us a visiting team locker
Where do
room.
you go during halftime?
Huh?
Where do you go during halftime?
In our locker room.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So after the game.
No, I don't cheat. Or
Okay,
anything.
after
I don't.
the game.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't-
Hardball after the
you know.
All right, Jim. I mean, Mr. Wilson, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Jim Harbaugh.
I got something to tell you. About
Hey, he
him
kind
in
of
a
looks
second.
like him when he puts on them glasses.
Don't say that.
All right.
I get Mike McDaniel. Anyway, so man, he would like it was quick and it was short and it was quick and it was short and it was not intense. It was very defeated. The words that he said. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's very satisfying.
Those kids walked out of that locker room too, and you could just tell they were just like that. They just had that look on their face, like they were just defeated. It was.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's the first time Asheville's ever beaten Etowah in basketball.
I could see that.
I think. It was a great game too. God, it was a great game. We turned the ball over too many times, but it was a great game. Great game.
Man.
Oh, by the way, did you
Sure
hear what
comes
Jim
with it.
Harbaugh told his staff and his players about unexpected pregnancies?
No. Oh yeah, about him taking the kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey,
I mean, it's awesome.
He
Like-
took whose kids?
Well, he's not. He wasn't really. He was looking at it from a standpoint of like, I don't want there to be aborted babies.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. It's awesome.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
because there's other people that are saying he's using it as a recruiting tool. You know, like.
Well,
hey,
he
if
just
you-
made a speech at that. Well, did they have the
Well,
March
I've
for Life?
seen some people
Yeah, he
say
went to the
that.
March for Life rally in D.C. He
And
marched
made a
with them.
speech.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about now? He did what?
He addresses his team every year and tells his team and his staff if y'all ever experience an unexpected pregnancy, don't abort the baby, have the child. If you can't take care of it, is his wife named Sarah? Anyway, his wife and his wife, there's an open policy that they'll take the baby.
Yeah. Me and my wife talking about that this morning. That she's just we're just liking. She's liking Harbaugh more.
Mm-hmm.
After all that,
Yeah.
hearing all that and seeing all that, she's just tried not to like him, but it's just
Yeah.
hard not to like him.
He's
Well,
always been a good dude though.
Right after the Ravens won
Yeah, I saw that.
yesterday, Jim's brother John, who's the head coach of the Ravens, approached the mic at the press conference and immediately led off with scripture.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but
So this is the life weekend or day today, though.
is it actually?
Yeah, I think it is this weekend. Like we have a lady involved in that down in Springville, the place in Springville, so she made a talk today at church about the abortion issues and stuff. So
Oh, gotcha.
I think it's that weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to hear all that and see all that. But and C.J. Stroud. What C.J. Stroud said,
man.
the quarterback for the Texans,
Yeah.
what he said in that post-game interview. Did y'all see
Yeah.
what NBC
They
did?
cut it out.
He started his post-game interview after they beat
Yeah.
who did they beat?
Can't remember.
Not yesterday. They lost yesterday. Who'd they beat last weekend? Anyway, they beat somebody. And he led with, first of all, glory to God. And when NBC posted the interview to their social media, they cut that out.
Yeah.
They started with the sideline reporter's question. Then they cut out him saying all glory to God. And then they started with his answer to her question.
Yeah, 60
And
million.
they caught a lot of flack for that.
Well, they should.
Yeah, since Roe versus Wade, there's been 60 million aborted
That's wild. Man.
abortions. I mean, you think about Hitler.
Yeah. It's
He killed 11 million.
Mm-hmm.
Stalin. You put those two together, those numbers together, that's still not 60 million.
well,
How many Stalin killed and Hitler killed?
It's interesting to think
That's
about.
That's what the powers that be want.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
The structure they implemented, it's a slow burn, man. It's got them over decades.
So
Poverty, leading to all that.
how have we gone from?
The most prosperous nation on planet Earth to where we are now.
I was gonna say, talking about Sigbin to football to abortion. That's a train of thought right there.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a talk or go home train of
And then
thought.
also
It is.
something else that makes you think, and I heard about this weekend they were talking about, is that we got Department of Defense now, but years ago it was Department of War. You know, where you go.
Can't use war anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you go. You know, you go get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, but today it's just. I don't know.
Well, you know, a lot of people are saying, like Mitch McConnell came out and said that the war in Ukraine is one of the major reasons for that is to basically prepare the military-industrial complex in the United States to keep it updated for war. So we're giving all this money to Ukraine. Ukraine's buying with the stipulation that they have to buy all our weapons and ammunition for the war, so that then our weapons manufacturers can take that money that they're making from Ukraine spending all their money on them and invest it in new technology and new weapons to then sell to our military. So we're basically getting rid of last generation's weapons, and we're using the Ukraine war to pay for next generation's weapons, is basically what's the argument is by critics of the war as to what's happening. That's pretty crazy to think about. You know, when you think about how much money they're spending.
Yeah.
You know, so that's wow. But, here we go. 1932, 1952, 1953, 1957. The last NFL championship. They have 4 NFL championships. The Lions do. The last one in 57. None since then.
This 52, 53 team must have been some maulers. Mm-hmm. I bet there's still some guys on that 57 team.
None since. The only playoff appearance came in 1991 in the Super Bowl era. And obviously this year. That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't know that a forward on the Lions. It makes sense, but I didn't know that a forward on the Lions.
I would believe it.
She's the great-granddaughter, I think, of Henry Ford.
Yeah.
But
My brain's just been spinning thinking about all kinds of different conspiracies. And
it's hard not to think about it, you know.
well, we've been talking it up, you know.
It's hard not to think about it. I've been watching. I watched this movie called Saltburn. Have you heard of it?
I heard of it, yes.
Have you heard of it?
Heard the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Hey, I want to go. David, we need to do that.
I'm going to Daytona 500.
You're going this year?
Go next year. I got to get some stuff done before I die.
I hear you, man.
Saltburn, go.
It's a movie about a very wealthy family in England, and you just think about how like wealthy people think, and by wealthy people I mean I don't mean Bill Smith, or Joe Blow, whoever that's got
See, Bill Smith went to school here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you
I
said
didn't,
that.
did he?
Yeah,
I
don't
just chose
know
a
the Joe
random
Blow.
name, but whoever, that's got like $100 million. I'm talking about like David Tepper that's got like $20 billion.
Right. Yeah.
Like what do you do with $20 billion?
That would.
How does that change your mind?
Bill Smith. Sounds like a made up name.
It is. I made
All right,
it up.
go ahead.
Guess your level of ego is going to decide like what you do with that money first.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be, beneficial to others, or is it all about me?
Well, and that's honestly like that's what concerns me is okay. I don't know. What would you do with $20 billion? You just said you've got.
I'll go to
things you wanna
Daytona
do.
500. Probably go to Normandy. Go to Indianapolis 500. Go see the Dallas Cowboys play. Probably go to the Super Bowl. Go to Valley Forge, Pall Mall, Tennessee. I got to get some stuff done.
Top Hat Barbecue.
Yeah, I've been there. I got that done.
Okay, that's right.
Because I can tell you a story about why
Alvin York?
men die before women do.
Okay.
But I can tell it to you. You go ahead with yours. I can tell you.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I can
Go.
tell you why. It's going to take a while.
Go
I
ahead.
may just do it as my quadruple threat.
We got time.
Go ahead, finish your salt burn.
Well, I just.
Quadruple.
You want me to tell
Dungeon.
what happened to me Thursday?
Yeah.
You already know.
Clint.
Go ahead.
You want me to tell what? You
Yeah.
finish with your salt burn?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
This is going to take a minute.
Go ahead.
All right. Now, I talked to my wife about telling this. She said it was all right.
Okay, good.
All right, we were out of school all week. This is why men die in a relationship.
Yeah.
Man and woman, husband and wife. That's why usually the man dies first.
This is going to be good.
You know, we were out of school till Thursday because of the cold weather. So we'll come back to work Thursday. Well, Thursday night when I get home, my wife tells me that the service engine soon light had come on in the red Explorer. I got a 2005 Explorer that she drives back and forth to work every day.
It's a good Explorer.
Yes, it's a decent car, but I mean, I started. It don't have, but it's almost got 118,000 miles on
That's
it.
awesome for that.
It's almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
So she drives back and forth to work every day, hauls the kids and all that kind of stuff. So she gets home and tells me the service engine soon light had come on, but she still drove it to Springville that evening to rehab and everything for her leg because she broke her leg and everything. So she gets home and she tells me, and so I call the mechanic and get a time set up to take it the next day. And this is the Explorer that I just started having little things start happening to it. So I bought a new one. I bought a new Explorer, 2018. I just got tired. You know, like 2018 Explorer is the one where the salesman told me, "Here's your car right here." That's so I bought that.
Hold
new
on.
one.
Can you tell that story real quick?
No.
Okay. Dang.
So I
That's a
bought
good
that.
story.
I bought that one. So and I tried to trade this red one in, but they just wouldn't. The 2005, it's a Ford Explorer Limited. I tried to trade it in, but they just wouldn't give me anything for it. I tried to sell it. Nobody made me a good offer, so I just kept it. So it's a good car, 10 miles a day for a drive back and forth. So I called the mechanic and told him I was going to bring it over there Friday evening. And so I have to handle that. And like in a relationship, probably 90% of the time, like man and woman, husband and wife, 90% of the time, the man has to handle these type of issues probably.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I had that handled, that situation. And so about 8 o'clock, I'm finishing up in the kitchen, and it feels kind of cool in the house. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to get to bed early tonight. I might get 8 hours sleep tonight. I'm going to go ahead and go to bed early. And it feels kind of cool in the house, so I go over to the thermostat and look at it. It's just blank. The thermostat is blank, so the heat has gone out.
Oh, boy.
And so I get on the phone with Tommy Powell. Shout out to Tommy Powell. And also Jay Jones, mechanic. Lives down the road from me, about a mile down the road. And also, I guess, Jay Collier, too. He's a pretty good mechanic. Shout out to him. And also, Bubba and Bubba Tyler. He's helped me out through the years. He's pretty good, too.
Anybody else?
Roger Tyler.
Roger
Roger
Tyler.
and Bubba. Yeah, they're good, too. But anyway, with Jay Jones, I call him about the mechanic issue. So I got that going on in the car. I think I've got that handled. But then the heat goes out. And so I call Tommy Powell. I stay on the phone with him for a little while, and I try a few things, and it don't come back on. I can't get the heat back on, so I get him scheduled to come over the next day to try to get the heat going. And I got some gas logs. And this night, it's not going to get real cold.
Yeah.
This night, it's not going to get real cold. And I got gas logs, but for some reason, my wife, she didn't want me to leave them on. So I said, to heck with it, I'm just going to bed. I've had enough. This is about all I can handle. I'm just going to bed. And the funny thing about it is, I got this weather station at my house where you can put that sensor outside. And it'll tell you what the temperature is outside and what it is in the house also. And so I've got that sensor in my doghouse because I got a heat lamp in my doghouse. When it gets real cold, I'll turn it on so I can see what the temperature is in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Well, I look at it, the temperature in the doghouse is a lot warmer than what it is in the house. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I should just go out and stay in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Well, this is ironic. It's warmer in the doghouse than it is in the house. So
And you usually spend a lot of time in the doghouse.
yeah, in the
with your
doghouse
wife.
anyway. So I might as well. So I just go to bed. I get up the next morning. It's pretty cool the next morning. So I told my wife, just don't drive the red car till we can get it checked out. So I pull the white car out, the 2018. I pull it out of the carport. I warm it up for her and everything before I leave, because I leave for her. So I'll get it warmed up and pull it out and everything so she can go get in. So I come on to work, and I'm driving the bus. I got to go drive the bus. So and I told her don't drive it till I get it checked out. And I pull the car out, tell her just drive the white one or thing. So I usually meet them on the way to school.
So you intended for her to drive the white one,
Yeah.
and leave the red one at home.
Yeah,
Because
the red
red
one
had a check engine light.
Check engine light on. So I'm driving the bus, and I usually meet them in the mornings, as they're coming to school. I meet them. So I'm driving the bus, and I pass them on the way. And she's in the red car, the one that had the service engine light on, driving it to work. And I'm like, what's going on? I start thinking, and I need to keep my mind on driving the bus, but I'm thinking, what's going on? Did the white car just not crank? And I go by my house on the bus route. I'm thinking, I'm going to look up there, and that white car's just going to, it's probably rolled down the hill. It's probably in the woods down there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting to see when I go by. I even slow down real slow and actually stop and just look up there, and it's sitting up there on the hill, and it kind of looks like maybe it's been backed into or something.
Oh.
I can't really tell, but I was just like, I don't understand what happened. What's going on? So I get on to work, and, I'm kind of upset by this time. I had a car issue. The heat's gone out. I don't know what's going on. I get to work. I'm kind of upset. I chew a kid out when I get here, but that kid probably deserved it anyway. And then I was real snappy to another teacher, told me good morning, and I said, what's so good about it? And probably the nicest teacher here. I got to apologize to her Monday. Sorry, Miss Boss. But,
Hey, shout out to Miss Boss. She's an author. Real Sisters. It's a book on Amazon. Check it out.
so she wrote a book.
Yeah.
So my wife, she tells me that she just had a lot on her mind. She was packing the kids up. They were going to go spend the night with somebody, so she's getting all their stuff together. Something, it just happened. They just packed up the red car and came to work like they usually do. So, and I'm thinking this is a transmission issue. It seems like a transmission issue to me with the car. I'm thinking it's going to cost a lot of money. I'm thinking a torque converter. If you keep driving one, the torque converter's going bad. If you keep driving one, it's going to mess your transmission up. So I'm thinking, transmission, it's just going to get destroyed. And by this time, I don't even care. By this time, it doesn't even matter to me anymore. In the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I just want to celebrate this. I hope when we take it to get the transmission fixed, I hope the guy tells us at the transmission place, boy, she really blew this one up, didn't she? And I'm like, yeah, she did. I'm just hoping, I'm expecting that. So she gets home with it and everything. And we take it to the mechanic. And when I drove it over there, the service engine light had gone, it wasn't on anymore. So I drove it over there to him, and she picked me up in the car. And when I get in the white car for us to come back home, the Explorer, she's talking to her buddy, Lisa Glasgow, that used to work here and teach in the systems down in Florida now. And they're talking about, she's got the phone on the car thing, the speaker, and they're talking about NIL and transfer portal.
Really?
It's what they're talking about.
Wow.
I was just like, this is like Twilight Zone.
That is Twilight.
So I just sit there and just listen to them talk. If Lisa Glasgow had been up here this weekend visiting, I was going to get them to come on here and talk about the NIL and transfer portal. They weren't talking about the latest recipes or anything. They were talking about NIL and transfer portal and Alabama football and everything. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what's going on. So we get home and everything, and so Tommy Powell, he gets the heat fixed during the day. So it's fixed. And then the car ended up being a number 6 coil and spark plug.
You didn't tell me that.
What it is.
So it's just misfiring?
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's what it was.
So all the problems were solved?
Yeah, all the problems solved.
Didn't set you back too much.
Not too much. So we're good.
So what'd you learn from all that experience?
Nothing.
Oh, well, okay.
Did you expect anything different?
No, I just, well, we went down that road. We went on a journey, you and I, together, and David was our guide. And I was expecting after that journey, at the end of our journey, that there was going to be some conclusion, some revelation, some wisdom.
Yeah.
And there wasn't.
It was just a story, man.
Just it wasn't about the ending. It was about the journey.
Yeah. I
was going to, if Lisa had been here this way, I was going to get them to come on and just talk sports.
That'd be awesome.
Because I don't even care about it. NIL and transfer portal. I mean, I don't pay no attention to it. I don't care
about it.
I don't even care.
I think it's ruining the sport.
Yeah. Now, one thing, though, I won't tell it because my wife said I think she'd be all right with this. Her and Lisa Glasgow, they used to play a game called Bunko. They had a Bunko group. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of the word. I've heard of the game. Bunko.
Well, when I told my wife, I
is.
ought to get y'all to come on, and my wife said, what, to talk about how dumb we are? And so I got to thinking about this. One time they went to this other person's house to play Bunko. Because they have it at each other's houses when they had this Bunko. But COVID killed it out, the Bunko group. But they go around to other people's houses. One time they went to this new person's house to play, and they went to the wrong house. And they just didn't knock or nothing. They just went in the house.
Oh, boy.
And it was in the wrong house. But it ended up all right. That's a good way to get shot, though.
Yeah.
Tom Brady
Drop
did that
kick.
when he moved to Tampa Bay. So he bought a house right next to this dude's house, and his first day in Tampa Bay, he walks in. He just walks into this house expecting it to be his. And this guy's sitting at his island, his countertop, in his kitchen, on his laptop. And this guy just walked in, and it was Tom Brady. He just set his bags down, and Tom Brady just goes, "Hey, man, what's up?" And the guy's like, nothing much, man. I just hanging out in my house. And Tom Brady goes, "What? Oh, no, I'm in the wrong house. I'm sorry, man." Picks up his bags, turns around, books it out, gets in his car, pulls out, goes to the next driveway over, pulls in. He walked into the wrong house when he moved to Tampa Bay from New England.
I wonder if those guys became friends.
I don't know.
If I'm guy that's
Tampa
sitting
Bay
at the
long.
island and Tom Brady busts up in my kitchen,
Yeah.
we're developing a friendship.
But wait a
after
minute.
this.
Who did Tom Brady think that guy was when he walked
Exactly.
in?
That's what I want to know.
Maybe
Yeah.
like a contractor or something.
Or a real estate agent or something, yeah.
Maybe like a important person in that world.
Somebody. Who knows?
Or maybe it's like lawn maintenance guy just waiting on him to
Hey, man, what's up? Just hanging out in your house.
Yeah.
Waiting on you to get here, Brady. Show you around your house you bought.
So that should tell you something. Like his first thought, wasn't about like, hey, how did my house get furnished and decorated and all this stuff, Because that should let you know one thing. When Tom Brady went in his house, somebody already decorated it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having that kind of money?
That'd be
Hey, I need you to go style my house. I want, this kind of stuff. Just go make it look good.
there are people that do that.
Oh,
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having that much money. I
Be wild.
can't. Well, it's just like, when you talk about NIL, these college kids, these 19-year-old kids making $200,000 a year. Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah,
That's the
boy,
worst.
everybody took off out of Alabama, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Mass exodus after
Yeah.
Saban
Lord
retired.
mercy.
And then NIL is killing it, man.
Most of them went to daggum Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State's loaded now.
The center, the safety, and
Hey,
the quarterback.
I know my B-Sci-Fi brethren would agree with me when I say, let them go. If they ain't true to Alabama,
Well, the
they
same thing happened at Michigan
let
if
'em go.
Harbaugh leaves, don't you think?
hey, we want guys that are going to come in there and
But it ain't
buy
that way
in.
no more. It's not that way anymore.
That's what I'm saying. You
Well,
know what? If
well-
we've got to lose next year to get a group of dudes who want to buy in and forget about all this other junk and become a part of a history of Alabama football and build something together, that's what we need.
But it
you
looks
know?
like that's over everywhere, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's killing football. Because at the core of football, that's what it's about.
Can that happen at Alabama again? No. Can you
well-
get people there that? I mean, it's you can't now.
Well,
It's not a-
I
it's
don't
a
know.
me
You
team
gotta
now.
shout out Malachi Moore, Jalen Milroe. Both
Yeah,
those
there's-
guys are there. They
I love
said they're
that.
not leaving. Same with Jalen Williams, who's played. He's I think he's a power forward on Auburn's basketball team. Jalen Williams has played at Auburn for 5 years. He never transferred. You gotta at least recognize the guys that are going to commit. It's rare now, and that's sad. But there are still guys that will.
There's guys.
The team concept, it's like it's gone.
Oh, it
it's
is.
It's a me.
It's
It's a
been
me.
obliterated.
Yeah.
And you know what scares me the most is it's trickling down to high school.
Oh, it's about to happen, dude.
No, it
We're
already
about to
is.
get in NIL.
Georgia's already going.
No, I'm talking about right here,
Yeah,
like
in
in
Alabama.
this state. I mean, the transfer portal basically already exists now. We just don't have NIL.
It's crazy, man.
So
Man, football was a beautiful thing.
it was. I mean, just sports in general.
You know,
Yeah,
high
it's rock
school and
sports.
college ball, for a long time really stood for something awesome, and traditions and legacies, and now it's just getting pooped on. So,
Well, it's easier you got it easier being in the pros now.
Yeah.
Might as well just college coaches these high dollar college coaches. Might as well just go to the pros.
How do y'all feel about Kalen DeBoer at Bama?
No, I mean, he's proven legacy that he's already set for himself. I mean, even though, the schools he's won at before Washington were smaller, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still college athletes. You get them to win and perform consistently. That's the kind of guy we need. So, I don't know.
Hoping to get some of those Washington players to come.
Yeah, some of them are already coming.
He's already got his center and his quarterback.
That offensive line from Washington, I love them. I watched them probably 5 or 6 games this year. I love their offensive line. Now Michigan, their whole team, I mean, they're dominant.
Yeah.
And they had a great offensive line too, but that something about that Washington unit, man. They played together. Like, you could watch them on film and just see like how together and how much chemistry they had between each other. It was really awesome.
It's always nice to see kids that play together.
Yeah, it is.
That are close.
Absolutely.
That's hard. That's hard to control though sometimes as a coach.
But it winds up being the most important thing.
I
It really
agree.
does.
Absolutely.
It's the most important thing, like developing chemistry on the team, and especially with an O-line unit. Like, if the guys are just doing stuff for themselves, they're not going to care if they help out this guy as much,
I honestly think you can't be successful as an offensive lineman if you approach it with a me attitude. Because all the other positions on the field, basically, you're going to get the ball at some point. Offensive line, the only time you're going to touch the ball if you're the center and you're snapping it. The odds of you getting a touchdown, scoring, intercept, it's zero, almost zero.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be a selfless team mentality about it. And in my opinion, that's the only way you can be a successful offensive lineman in football.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I speak the way I do about it, because, like the other me positions, like
Wide receivers, man. Whew.
Hey.
And I'm a wide receiver coach.
They just don't. A lot of dudes just don't. And that's why, man, I love offensive line so much, is because a lot of people just don't understand. They haven't lived it, so they don't know it, But once you develop that, like, it just opens your eyes to everything else around you.
Those guys are the guard dogs, man. They are the protectors.
Man, in the trenches.
Yeah. The fighters,
hogs,
the protectors,
man.
the guard dogs. They set the tone. They protect what's about. God. I'm not getting choked up. It's freaking.
Man, it's like
it's
invisible
phlegm
ninja just chopped you in the throat. You're trying to finish those words. Yuck, yuck.
phlegm in my throat, man.
That was awesome.
But yeah, no, that's why I love offensive linemen, man. God,
Yeah,
they're some of the
absolutely.
best. They're some of the best athletes on the planet. I mean, they are.
It's impressive to watch.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
A beast that large.
Oh,
Look at the lineman getting downfield.
look at old Baker. Was that Q counter? I wasn't paying attention.
Hey, those boys ain't going out without a fight now.
No, about to be halftime.
Yeah.
10-3 still.
I saw a funny meme the other day. I had Baker Mayfield on it.
Mm-hmm.
The top of it said top 5 black quarterbacks in the NFL, and it was like, like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, and he was like down here on the bottom right. Caption was like, wait a minute.
Somebody said Baker Mayfield was what everybody hoped. Oh, God, what's his name? Oh, from A&M. Johnny Manziel. Baker Mayfield is what everybody hoped Johnny Manziel would have been in the NFL.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's so true.
It is.
They have the
It
same
is.
energy.
Yes.
But Baker's actually got a work ethic, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
is the only difference. Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Because did you hear, Johnny Manziel watched zero film?
that's pathetic, dude.
Where was he, the
Yeah.
Bengals or the Browns?
That's terrible.
Where'd he go? He was the Browns, right? Got drafted to the Browns.
I wonder, did he do that at A&M?
I don't know, man. It's
A
different.
quarterback
once
that
you
doesn't
catch that
watch
bag.
film, that's crazy.
But it's different when you get into the league and you catch that bag and you get all this money. It's like, I'm sure he was thinking, why do I need to do anything? I'm in the
Man,
NFL,
that
I'm
boy
making all
needed
this money.
Jesus is what he needed.
He still does.
Probably still does, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get right with God, man.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Recommendations. Sorry. What we got? Recommendations. Go ahead. Pop off. Pop off, Big Dave.
All right, Jack. Pork skins. Max Ghost Pepper Jack.
What? Let me see that.
Ghost Pepper Jack.
Yeah, they're good.
Look at that.
I didn't know this.
Ghost
this
pepper
existed.
and Monterey Jack cheese.
Made with real ghost peppers to challenge the true heat
Chicharrones.
seekers.
Chicharrones. Is that how you pronounce that?
Intense peppery heat balanced with a creamy cheese flavor for a well-rounded taste that delivers.
Can you read the ingredients? I love to hear you read ingredients.
Fried pork skins, salt, corn maltodextrin, whey powder, sugar, non-fat dry milk, natural and artificial flavoring, dried yeast, lactic acid, canola oil, Monterey Jack cheese, ghost chili pepper, paprika extract, and natural smoke flavor.
Definitely some chemicals in there.
Yeah, chicharrones. Chicharrones?
Is it Rones?
I don't know.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
That sounds better to me.
Are we inflecting
Chicharrones.
more than we need to there, though?
No, because you gotta add that Latino flair to it, baby.
Where'd you get this? Where'd you purchase this?
Student gave them to me. I don't know where they got them. Yeah. Can you read what's in there?
Yes, don't eat this. This is expired.
Can you read what's in there?
Water, peppers. Yeah, those are this. Water. Oh, salt, vinegar, garlic powder, and xanthan gum. There we
No,
go.
what's that other? The Sabol or whatever.
Arbol and Pickin.
What's that?
I don't know. It sounds like a sports talk show. Arbol and Pickin.
Read what's in there. Just kidding.
Oh, it's water.
Oh, it's water.
Recommendations. What we got?
Have
Recommend away.
y'all seen that show Reacher?
Mm-hmm.
It's been on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
With that guy from Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, it's a good
Thad.
show.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's a great show.
Is it? I've heard that.
Hey, and this is cool, man. I just saw this like day before yesterday. He is a devout Christian, man.
I've seen that. Yeah. What is his name? I can't
I watched
It's,
season 1 of that.
Alan Richfield.
Yeah, Alan Richfield. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was on Blue Mountain State. That's where I first saw him.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched that first season.
Got that season 2 out now.
You
It's
talking
good.
about
I've enjoyed it.
Reacher.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's massive.
He is a
I
specimen.
don't
Yes.
think I finished that first season. It just got a little. Well, I guess got tired of watching it. It
I
went.
feel
It
you.
went just too long.
It
went
has
on
moments.
too long.
It has moments.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Recommendation.
Hey, but
Max,
the way
I'm
the
gonna
season
recommend
ended.
Max,
That's right.
Ghost Pepper Jack,
Hey.
Chicharrones, Ghost Pepper Jack, pork skin.
Hey, you need to go.
Will you read the ingredients?
You need to go finish that season.
I forgot you recommended.
Hey, the way it
You always
ends.
do.
I know.
Dave, the way it ends.
You didn't hear a word of my story either, did you?
I did.
I did. I listened.
They walked into a house. Bunko.
Anyway,
Easy God.
Is your car right here?
Oh, those Explorers, those 2005. You don't see a whole lot of those on the road.
No,
like
you
I've
don't.
got.
No.
'Cause the bearings are bad. The transmissions are bad to go out in them. So I was thinking it was going to be transmission. I was
Ford,
I was
man.
just
I get
prepared for it. Wheel bearings were bad to go out on those, and I've had all the wheel bearings replaced. And I was just expecting transmission, but it's number 6 coil and spark plug.
Tell
We're
you
back
another
on the
brand.
road.
Tell you another auto brand that just really doesn't really
Doesn't pop your tart.
perform like they should. It's like Nissan.
They don't pop your tart. You know, Nissan used to be much more reliable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when it was
When it was
Datsun.
Datsun,
You know,
yeah.
with Datsun, yeah.
Man, I remember my granddaddy's Datsun truck. Man, I had a lot of memories in that old thing.
Is it red? What color was it?
Let's see, I think Papa's Datsun was like a brownish color, but Dad had a red truck.
Red.
Remember Dad's old red truck? I think it was a Toyota. I don't remember if it was a Datsun. Might have been a Datsun.
Dad's got a 91 Toyota truck from the Philippines. He brought that sucker over when they moved back from the
Nice.
Philippines back to Bama.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful. We call it Barney. Bright fire engine red, white hubcaps, light khaki brown interior.
Sounds gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. 5-speed. Beautiful. Stick shift.
I would like to recommend Max Ghost Pepper Jack pork skins.
They were that good?
Yeah, student gave me those. I don't know where you buy
You want me to
them.
read the ingredients?
No.
Saltburn, that's my recommendation, starring Barry Keoghan. Do not watch it with anybody, especially family. Watch it by yourself. There is graphic stuff but it's an interesting psychological thriller film.
Like exploding body parts?
No, not gory.
Oh, okay.
Sensual.
Oh.
Saltburn, huh?
Saltburn. It is about this average Joe that infiltrates a wealthy family, and he infiltrates a wealthy family.
Oh.
Don't go to the bathroom after getting Vicks on your fingers either. That's another good recommendation. Talking about Saltburn. Go ahead.
Hey, have you ever used smelling salt?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
I got some in my room down there.
Do you actually? Why?
Probably
Somebody
took
gave
'em
them
up.
to me. The coach gave them to me. So I said, thank you. Put them in my closet.
Do you use them ever?
I might need them.
You ever pop the top?
I hadn't popped these yet. No, we used to use them all the time in football. Do y'all still use them?
No.
What do you use?
Nothing.
Just concussion protocol?
Wait on
Yeah,
them to
everything's
wake up.
concussion.
We didn't have
protocol.
concussion protocol then. You just snapped those. What do you call them?
Smelling salts
Yeah. Smelling salt. Yep.
or salt, whatever tablet. You're
The
talking about
ammonia
the tablets,
tabs.
right?
Yeah.
This is just a bottle. It looks like a pill bottle, and you just open it up. And,
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
smelling salts. And it's like somebody,
Kicked you in the face.
yeah, and it goes through your whole body. Like it's just the most intense feeling. It's sort of like if you could inject peppermint into your veins.
Or
It's
snort
what it feels
cocaine
like.
or something.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
crazy about it.
pretty intense. All right, guys, thank you for
Don't advocate
listening
that
to,
at all.
Yeah, we don't. Thank you for listening
Jerk-free
to this
America.
great episode. Once again, Clint could not be here, so shout out to good old Clintus, but he will be back hopefully on the next episode. Don't
Clintus.
forget you can subscribe to Lens Plus to listen to this episode or any
Clintus.
of our normal episodes 1 week early, as well as access all of our bonus episodes and bonus content for $1.99 a month on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We do appreciate your follow, subscription, rate, review, whatever you've done or haven't done. Or
Clint would say couch change.
yeah, couch change. That's right. That's his thing.
Couch
That's his
change.
thing. But don't forget, you can talk.
You can go home and get Clint. We miss you, big guy. Hey, did you see that?
Right.
Did you see that picture that was posted online the other day?
Of
They had him on the side of the court at Asheville wearing the orange thing with the yellow.
Yeah, what was
tutu.
that about?
that was at Etowah. Yeah, the Etowah game.
How funny was that?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then I commented on the post down below. I had an upside down picture of the Lorax. Look at this. Look at this. This is so funny. What do I do with that? Oh, look. That's what he looked like on the sideline.
That is exactly what he looked. That is exactly what he looked like.
It was. Anybody out there
great.
wants to see it.